In this video, I'll tackle the fundamentals of leading a project team. The fundamental principle of leading a project team is that you get the team that you deserve. That doesn't mean that if you're a good person, the universe will reward you with a good team, and if you're a bad person, the universe will punish you with a bad team. If only life were that fair. What it means is that if you put in the work, if you support and guide and cherish your team, if you help the individuals and if you build a great team, then that's what you will get. But if, on the other hand, you look at the team you've got and say, they're rubbish, I'm never going to have a good team, and you abandon them and you look for opportunities to prove that you were right and to highlight their failures, then that will become a self-fulfilling prophecy, and the team that you get will live down to your expectations. In this way, if you put in the work, or if you fail to put in the work, you will get the team that you deserve. The next 4 principles of project team leadership lead us to the 4 essentials, the fundamentals of what you need to do in leading a project team. The second principle is to give everyone the attention that they need. The first essential of project team leadership is clearly the individual within the team, because a team is made up of individuals, and the greater the breadth of personalities, styles, experience, background, cultures that the individuals bring to your team, then the stronger your team will be, the greater its ability to solve problems, and the more robust will be the decisions that it's able to make. However, as a project team leader, you need to invest in your relationship with each of those individuals. You need to get to know them, what their strengths are, what their passions are, what their ambitions are. You need to celebrate what they are good at rather than deprecate what they are poor at. And you need to find ways to play to their strengths and give them opportunities to develop in the directions where they want to go. And this means getting to know each of your team members as an individual, to spend time with each of them. It doesn't necessarily mean that you should be spending an equal amount of time with each team member. And what it means is that over time you will spend the right amount of time with each team member. For any one individual, this may be high at one point in the cycle and less at another. Overall, I would expect it to balance out. This is not difficult in principle, but the challenge, of course, is that there will be some team members that you find it easier to get on with. However, you need to make the effort to spend time with all of them, no matter how challenging that is, either on a personal level or on a logistical level. Because let's face it, in modern project teams, not all of your team members are equally easy to access. The third principle is that people need to feel part of something worthwhile. Therefore, the second essential role of a project team leader is to build a coherent team, a team that has a shared understanding of what it's trying to do and why it is trying to do it, and therefore a shared commitment to that goal. The simplest way you can do this is to do things together as a team. This doesn't mean grand ideas of team building, but it does mean creating habits and rituals among the team, things that we can all do together and recognize as binding us together. And by the way, this doesn't always necessarily have to involve the whole team, but what it does have to do is it has to have the capability of involving the whole team. If someone chooses to opt out of some discretionary activity, that's fine, as long as it's a choice and they're not forced to opt out because you have chosen an activity that is not well suited to them and their capabilities. The fourth principle is that people will only follow you if they are confident that you know where you're going. This demands a plan, which is the third essential component of your project team leader role. You need to create a plan, or more precisely, you need to ensure that the team has a shared plan that they can all believe in. If you as team leader go away and create it yourself, it may be magnificent, but it won't belong to the team. And also, with the best will in the world, even though you are the team leader, you only have one brain. The team collectively has more brains, and more brains mean better solutions to problems. If you get your team to work together to create a plan, then you will get a better plan because it will have applied more brains, and your team will commit to it because it's their plan, not yours. But your plan must also cater to the individuals in the team. Some people like a lot of detail on their plan, so the plan that you produce as a team needs to focus in on the details for those individuals, whereas for other individuals who prefer not to get too much detail so that they've got a bit of opportunity to be creative and to work in their own way, as the mood suggests to them, their part of the plan needs to be a little bit rougher around the edges and a little bit less precise. The fifth principle is to create an environment where your team can succeed. And the fundamental, essential task for you as a project team leader in this regard is to ensure a culture of good communication. Now, a poor team leader will communicate as little as they can get away with, leaving team members wondering how much better they could do if they only knew more. A better team leader will communicate as much as they possibly can within the constraints of confidentiality. They will make sure that their team knows everything that they can possibly tell them so that their team can do better. The problem with this model is that if that happens, the team will start to be doing a lot of the work themselves, and of course will get to know things that the leader doesn't know. So the communication direction will necessarily have to reverse itself. Now, the team leader needs to gather information from the team members who are doing the work. This is great, up to a point. And that point is where the team leader becomes the critical point of failure. That is, a hub and spoke model of communication means that if the team leader is away for any reason, then communication will start to fail, and then the team itself will fail. So the culture you should be creating as a brilliant project leader is one where the whole team knows and is capable of communicating amongst themselves. That's why so many modern project management tools put the premium on team communication. When the team can communicate amongst itself, then you are no longer essential for the proper functioning of the team. Now, to get the best from your team, as a project leader, you also need 4 skills. The first skill is listening, because even the best leaders don't know everything. Listening is, I believe, the primary communication skill. You need to be able to listen to what your team members and your stakeholders need and want to tell you. Sometimes people just need a damn good listening to so that they can get things off their chest. Often, team members and stakeholders who are frustrated don't need you to tell them what to do. They don't even need you to make things right. They just need to know that you hear what they are saying. It's tempting to think that listening just comes naturally. We've got 2 ears, we can hear, and therefore we can listen. But nothing could be further from the truth. Yes, we can easily listen to a degree, but listening well is a learned skill. The second skill to cultivate is encouraging, because your team members want to do well. A project team leader is their team. So you need to be able to guide and support and motivate them. You need to celebrate their successes and help fix up the mistakes they make, because they will make mistakes. And if you focus on those, you'll discourage them and demotivate them. A highly motivated team with an attitude of confidence and enthusiasm will perform to its best. So that is what you need to create. The secret to team encouragement is a combination of recognition, praise, and positive feedback. The third skill for a project team leader to cultivate is asserting, because there is work that needs to get done. Fundamentally, a project leader is paid to deliver your project. This means you need to be able to make things happen, to give instructions, and to speak without fear. There are plenty of ways to assert yourself, but assert yourself you must be prepared to do. And the fourth project team leadership skill is deciding, because projects are a series of choices. Each choice that you have as a project leader opens up opportunities, but also closes others down. You need to be able to understand the problems, figure out what's right, and set your team's priorities. And you need to ensure that your decision-making is accountable, transparent, and recorded. Leading a project team is simple. We've looked at 5 principles and 4 skills that you need to cultivate. That's all. And each of those principles and each of those skills is simple in themselves. The problem is that simple is not the same as easy. It may be simple to pay attention to individuals, to build a team, to construct a plan, and to make sure people communicate. But none of that is easy in an environment of constant change, of uncertainty, ambiguity, and complexity. Being a project team leader is simple, but it is not easy. Please do give this video a like if you've enjoyed it or learned from it. I'll be creating loads more great project management videos for you, so please do subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of them. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one.